Hey peeps, it's Tripl-L, and today I'm here to do just a quick Pokemon news video. Really, I'm going to be talking mostly about Pokemon Go, and then I'm going to be mentioning something about the Pokemon anime at the end. If by any chance you're here because you want to know what I'm going to say about the Pokemon anime, I will have the timestamp in the description, so use that. But anyway, Pokemon Go, let's actually talk about this app. So recently, some statistics have come out, and people are jumping on them, and so I'm just going to give my opinion on it. So we got this from Bloomberg, and it's just tracking the daily users, and what it's ultimately saying is that from a peak of 45 million, we've dropped to about 30 million. Now, is that a problem? It's a 15 million loss. Personally, I don't think it's a problem. This is pretty much the nature of mobile games. Mobile games are there to catch your attention, and really, when there's a mobile game release, what tends to happen is a lot of people jump onto it. It's like the new toy effect, and then over time their attention wanes. It's not flashy enough anymore, and just people kind of drop off. Another big thing is that kids are a big market in this, and so you have to start wondering, this is only natural for a mobile game life cycle. If the kids, they just lose interest, and even if they start back up school, once school starts, they're definitely going to drop in terms of their Pokemon Go activity. So we're probably going to see more of a drop as school starts back up, or even when winter comes around. There's a lot of more factors that go into playing Pokemon Go because of the nature of the game, and also because it's a mobile game. These kind of drops are to be expected. They're not a big deal. Like 30 million is still a big number. And speaking of big numbers, we have to talk about the stampede that happened in Taiwan, because a lot of people had to go catch a Snorlax. Like, my god, wow. Okay, so like a lot of the articles that reported on this also mentioned that they had to bring in the Civil Defense Brigade because they had to try to maintain order. That's, well, I want to say it's hilarious, but in a stampede that size, like, what are the chances? There might have been a kid who was just minding his own business, playing Puzzle and Dragons or something. This kid has nothing to do with Pokemon, and all of a sudden this giant wave of people come out of nowhere, and they run and they push him around. It's like, man, if somewhere there is a mom just waiting for her kid to come home, that's gonna be tragic. Oh man, horrible scenarios. But no, the fact that there was people still stampeding for a Snorlax, I respect that, because Snorlax is tough to get. I have not seen one in my area at all, but still, you have this news of 45 to 30 million, and you still have the news of, oh my god, people are still crazy about this game, because 30 million at the end of the day is a big number, and it's a scary number when you're in a densely populated area. But actually, I do want to talk a bit more about Pokemon Go in this next news piece, because this kind of illustrates the overall effect that Pokemon Go had, and what I think is its real value to Nintendo. Now, see, you might have heard of stories of people taking advantage of the fact that there were Pokestops and how people were getting more profits in their cafes. I certainly heard that story around my community. And so it's really interesting because Pokemon Go had this really synergistic effect for businesses. GameStop, for one, was one of the businesses that really mentioned that their sales went up. And I know some GameStops in my area started packing more Pokemon merchandise. Also, it was like one of the Pokemon anniversaries, so naturally they were going to have more merchandise. But Pokemon Go definitely helped. Now this article, I'm getting it from Nintendo Everything, so thanks to them. And what's effectively happening is that a company went out of their way and they grabbed the statistics, and they're talking about some global digital game sales, or just game sales as well. And I'm just going to read out the quote. Nintendo's mobile strategy ended up paying off exactly as intended. 3DS unit sales rose by over 50% from a year ago, an astonishing feat for underpowered hardware nearing the end of its lifespan. Furthermore, sale of 3DS games boomed. Combined sales of Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire and Pokemon X and Y, both 2015 and 2013 releases respectively, nearly doubled. Pokemon Go is the only factor that can explain jumps in sales of this magnitude. And we are optimistic that the mobile spin-offs of Fire Emblem and Animal Crossing will have a positive impact on Nintendo's ecosystem. So what ends up being here is that Pokemon Go, because it was such a mainstream attention, because it was so accessible to so many people, it had the synergistic effect of having people want to go back and try the original games, or the main series games. And this is really what Nintendo, I think, is happy about. I think because now Nintendo's turning a pure profit on themselves. They don't have to split with Niantic. I don't know how they do their whole like finances, but the thing is, when you have this Pokemon app and it's bringing people into the main series and bringing in more fans, this is a win for Nintendo. And I think this is the effect that we should look forward to when Nintendo makes all their other mobile spin-offs, because really Nintendo isn't in the market or in the business of mobile gaming. That's why they had Niantic, who specialized in that specific kind of augmented reality game, I believe, do their thing. But if they have a scenario where they're just getting their brands out into the mass market and then having people come back to try out their specific strength, I think that's a very, very good result. And if it's for that sake, I'm okay with any mobile game that they want to try to do, if it brings back more fans, because really more fans is what will keep the video game industry alive. And finally, that's pretty much all the Pokemon Go stuff. Really interesting stuff. But now I do just want to talk about the overall reaction that the internet had to Ash's Kalos League loss. And I am sorry if that is a spoiler. There is no way, if you're on YouTube, that you could have missed that. Anyway, I wasn't really sure how to talk about this, and I just want to mention it because it's just really cool. So I went on Kotaku. I've looked up so many videos. There are so many videos on YouTube, people just talking about the result. And some people, you know, are contemplative. Some people are pretty chill about it, and some people are long time or fans who were left a long time ago and just came back to see the novelty of it. And it's just really interesting because that ended up happening across quite a few people. And overall, whether people are angry or upset, I think the fact that people reacted so emotionally to this event really does go to show how important Pokemon was to their childhoods. For the people that grew up with Toonami, you probably also grew up with Pokemon, and having Ash as a character that's pretty much grown up with you, except he doesn't grow because he's forever 10 years old. You know, it was a big moment for a lot of people. A lot of people were emotionally invested. You will read multiple accounts if you go on the Reddit, and if you just look at what people said, that they just came back just to see this happening, and then how disappointed they were. It's unfortunate, but it is cool that people care that much, and all that anger is really coming because you know, it's a sucky situation for fans. But what I really think is good is that people went out of their way to respond to the Pokemon Company Twitter account, I believe, and say all kinds of things. Really colorful stuff. I very much enjoyed that. And I do kind of wish that the Pokemon Company would do some kind of response or make some kind of response. But since Pokemon is partly owned by Nintendo, I do feel that the thing that Nintendo's really good at, being stubborn, translates over to Pokemon and whatever they're doing. That stubborn streak is not going to go anywhere. Like this result is now in stone. But what people are now fearing is the possibility that because of the shenanigans going on with Team Flare in the current arc, that there's going to be some kind of, I don't know, pretty much making up for it by having Ash beat Alon. But that really is a kind of hollow victory because he didn't win when it mattered. And I think personally, if it comes to a scenario where it was revealed that there was actual foul play involved in that final battle, that's the only way I'll personally accept it. But anything else isn't worth it. And actually, wait, no. There's footage playing right now of this episode. Do you see this? Like, what is he doing? He's just watching this poor kid like get knocked out, and he's just watching him sleep. Why isn't he waking him up? Like, what the heck, Alon? What are you doing? And then you can see this situation. It's like, what? For that to happen, Alon had to be there watching them rummage in his pants, pull out his balls, and release his Pokies. Yeah, Alon had to be watching that. He's totally okay with that. Like, what the heck, man? I know you're having your melodramatic moment, but geez, like, be a person. Overall, this is a very rapey situation for Ash, and I think it's interesting what's going on in the Pokemon anime right now. You know, like, this is a kids show, and this might be the most dire situation Ash will ever be. Like, man, this is kind of uncomfortable, actually. Anyway, irrelevant. Because of the shenanigans happening with the anime, it'll be very interesting in the coming weeks to see if the Pokemon Company is going to try to damage control this, or if the writers are going to try to damage control this by having an episode where it shows, oh yeah, Ash is actually stronger than Alon. But hey, we didn't get the victory. Anyway, the point of this segment was just talking about, you know, it was interesting to see the way the internet reacted a lot of people had emotion going into this, and I think that's just a testament to how much Pokemon meant to people growing up. So anyway, I think that's pretty much it for me. This is about an 11-minute video, but thanks for watching, guys. Till next time, have a good day.